What's going on, everybody? Hey, see, I'm adding a little bit more to the intro each and every time. Keep changing up. That's why I'm a little bit late. I was kind of throwing that together real quick at the end. I gotta spend a little bit more time on that, but definitely a lot of fun. And eventually, as time changes and we do add some more people in here, I think we do have a shout out. I do have a couple of people on my member only shout out, and I think that's all going to be added in starting next week as well. But I will, as far as members go within the Donut Life, I do have two shout outs. I'm just going to make them now real quick if that's okay with you guys. We have I think Jesse Lou Comics and Pops, and Andy Roberts. Those are my two Donut Life tiers where you get the shout out. So definitely appreciate it. And glad you all have decided to help, join and everything like that. But we have a big one today. A lot of times I get a lot of time, I like to talk Marvel, and I don't talk Marvel movies within YouTube. I kind of go all over. I like to talk to anybody that's willing to listen because I love Marvel. I love Marvel movies. I love movies in general. I think movies are fantastic. Let you stop and put things away. Now, don't ask me anything about Justice League Snyder Cut. I am going to watch it. It's a long, long movie, so I just haven't gotten to it yet. But I will watch Justice League Snyder Cut later on and go from there. But today it's more about, I've had a lot of people not realizing that there is a Spider-Verse going on. There's a world that Sony is starting to create, and they're taking a page right out of Marvel MCU's book where they're trying to build and develop something that's going to be, I think, fantastic. Now, for me, I want to see this because, I'm a huge Captain America fan, but my big number two has got to be Spider-Man. I've always been a fan of Spider-Man. Back in the day, as well as Captain. But, I will still say this, as far as Spider-Man comics go, they have a huge run of the Amazing Spider-Man. They've got one of the greatest lineups of villain characters of all time out of any comic book series. And I think they've had some of the top, maybe not top, but they've had one of the most amount of, first appearances from different characters within the Spider-Man comics. Now, don't quote me on that. I know some of you guys out there are going to be like, "Oh, that's wrong." But hey, that's the way I feel. But there is a Spider-Verse that they're building now. Of course, Spider-Man that's in the MCUs, that is owned by Sony. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is still owned by Sony. Marvel is using him within the MCU universe, and it's kind of a partnership, which almost broke down about, I don't know, a year ago, somewhere in there. And luckily, they rekindled their partnership, and we are going to continue having Spider-Man in the MCU. So right now, I think character-wise, Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man is going to be the only Spider-Man that's going to jump between the two universes. Now, the whole Spider-Verse is something that's very, very new. It kind of really started with, a lot of people say Venom, but to me, it kind of really started with the Miles Morales version of that cartoon of Into the Spider-Verse, kind of showed about the different multiverses, stuff like that. And to me, that's really where it started. And then of course when they brought Venom out, Venom is just, it's a fantastic movie, great movie. If you haven't checked out Venom, definitely go out there and check it out. Fantastic movie. But it's something that I think it's going to be fantastic, and it's going to build up. Now, of course, where it's going to add to this is when you get into Venom 2. Venom 2 is really where you're going to, I think, start to see the Spider-Verse open up a little bit, because, of course, we know what we know about Venom 2. Venom 2, we know that we're going to get Carnage. Carnage is going to be in there. Woody Harrelson is playing, I always forget his name, the actual name of the person for Carnage, but I think Tom Hardy's been playing Eddie Brock, fantastic, by the way. But, they're going to be bringing him out. And there's also supposedly rumored that Tom Holland Spider-Man is supposed to make some sort of appearance within that movie as well. So that's really going to start connecting the Tom Holland Spider-Man into the Sonyverse. And I think once that happens, you're really going to start having people realize that there is a Spider-Verse in there. Now, do I think in the future, after Nowhere Home, which I believe is going to be a Marvel title, do I think in the future Sony's going to continue to make Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland? Yeah, I do. And they'd be stupid not to. I think Tom Holland, out of all three Spider-Mans, is far, bar none, the best Spider-Man of all time. And I think they're going to continue it because, of course, you already know that they're doing more. They got Morbius coming out, played by Jared Leto. Fantastic. I'm really, really looking forward to that one. The Marvel movie looks really, really good. I mean, the trailer looks really, really good. Now, that one, I do hope that there is some sort of crossover because, of course, we know that Marvel is bringing back out Blade. And with Blade coming out, that's going to be something really, really cool there because, Blade and Morbius, in the comic book worlds have had some fantastic battles. Of course, Blade being a half vampire, as well as a vampire hunter. Morbius being a doctor turned vampire. But fantastic series. I think Jared Leto is going to play, definitely resurrect his superhero role, whereas a lot of people gave him a lot of hard times with his Joker role that he played in Suicide Squad. Although from the trailer shows, Zack Snyder did reprise Jared Leto's Joker role in Snyder Cut of Justice League. So I'm really still looking forward to seeing that again. If you guys didn't hear me say earlier, I'm not going to talk about Justice League too much. I have not watched the movie yet. I do have HBO Max. I am watching it, but it's a long movie. So I really got to take some time out to check it out. Bees popping, what's going on, man? I know we had Jesse Lou in here real early, as well as we had Chase in here earlier. And then, of course, my buddy Wayne stopped by using some of those great emoji icons that you get as when you're a member. But I mean, like I said, I think there's a whole world of superheroes. I mean, I just wish DC would really, really try to keep up with this and go from there. But as I think time rolls on, I think it's going to be. I think the Spider-Verse is going to be coming up to something good. I mean, I think you're going to have, not only are they going to bring up characters like Venom and Carnage, but you're also going to have to start including more characters, kind of like the Norman Osborn, the Goblin, the Hobgoblin. We already know that they're somewhere within the MCU. They're bringing Jamie Foxx's Electro back. Although I really wish that they would use close to the same outfit that they use for the Electro in the comic books. I really didn't like the look of the Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man series. I would like to see the other version come back. I think that'd be awesome and fantastic. But because I think that outfit was awesome. But I think you're going to see more. I think we're going to get the Sinister Six, which I know a lot of people have been wanting to see something with the Sinister Six for many, many years. I think that's going to be something that's going to be really out there. I mean, are you guys that are in the chat? I know there's only a couple people watching, but are you guys Spider-Man fans? And would you really, really like to see the universe of Spider-Man really, let Sony push this to the envelope? Let Sony follow in Marvel's footsteps by kind of following the comic strips a little bit, the comic books as well. Not comic strips, I'm sorry. Comic books. Let them follow the comic books a little bit. Let them bring all this up because I think there's so many things out there they want to do. But the question I have within this, and I want to include you guys here in the chat, is do you guys think that, with this, I know it's really early on, you guys can't really see maybe where it's going to go. Do you guys think that, the building up of this Spider-Verse, if they do it right, do you think this is something that in the future is either going to rival Marvel's MCU, or you think it's something that's going to be complementary to rivals? You think I can almost see both of them being complementary to one another, because people may not even realize that one side's Sony, one side's Disney's Marvel. So maybe the common person's not going to know the difference. They're going to think it's all Marvel when we know it's not. But I definitely I think Sony's got something really, really smart there, and something that I think they can really build upon that is really, really good. I mean, of course, we got Venom in there, and and Carnage. I know a lot of people. There's a lot of Carnage fans out there, so I really think that that's going to be something that's going to be fantastic. I know Carnage pops go like crazy. I mean, I got my really cool. Let me bring him out here. My really cool black light Carnage. I mean, I know the light's kind of showing on it, but this is a great, great pop. I love this. I had to put him in the black light box over here because the pink just kind of pops on him. I mean, I think that's awesome. But, I mean, I know Disney's MCU, of course, is going in a huge direction with going into the multiverse. Touching and base of that, they've got a ton of brand new characters they're introducing this year. Just this year alone with Shang-Chi and Eternals, I think is something huge. I think it's going to be big time and something that they're you're just really, really going to see. And Marvel's, I think you guys are going to like it more than you think. I mean, I've been starting to read. They have a new comic book out recently. I just picked up the variant copy or the variant cover, which this is issue number 2. Issue number 1 was fantastic as well, which was this the variant cover? This was a variant cover. And this one was really, really good. I really like this. I haven't read number 2 yet. I just recently picked it up. But this being the variant cover, I mean, the Eternals, man, you guys are going to be really, really impressed with that. And this goes back. You may even see Thanos come back in with the Eternals at some point because Thanos was around during the time of the Eternals and everything like that. So, Kenneth Bird, what's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. I did, mind you, sorry, I'm going off track a little bit. I was doing something here, kind of what we talked about. If you guys came and watched Wayne Tech Experience, I'm sure there's a lot of live channels going on right now. A lot of times Friday nights kind of gets that way. You get a lot of live channels going on, doing all kinds of different stuff. So, the people that do come by, check me out, check out the show. Come by and just say hi. I always appreciate it. But I know we had talked about doing something, I think, starting next week. If you guys are out there and you guys want to do super chat, stuff like that, we always want to be able to give you something a little bit more, at least acknowledge it. Your super chats a lot. And I think in the future, we're going to start doing things like the beer chug, stuff like that. I didn't have any beer. I don't normally carry beer in the house, but if we do have some super chats, the only thing I had in the house was some White Claws. Never had any of these before. So I will have a gulp of that if that's something we get to. But and I wanted to bring up, I forgot I was going to set it up, but I want to bring up some of the images of, I'm going to do it real quick. I just want to see and decide that it might get copyrighted. Who knows? But I do have this one, and I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. Just let me bring this up here real quick. I'm gonna show it. I don't care. I had the trailer. I don't know if you guys seen the trailer for the new Spider-Man yet. I mean, it looks fantastic. So good. And it's kind of funny at the same time. Check this thing out.
All right, so
gave us a fake name again.
Of course, we always know Tom Holland is known for.
I just don't understand why he keeps doing this.
You don't understand? I feel like it's pretty obvious to spoil things.
I don't spoil things. Name me one thing that I've actually spoiled.
The last movie title thing.
So that's fantastic. No Way Home is going to be the next one. Of course, I think it's going to tie into the whole multiverse thing. Something I think is going to be fantastic. And, so I think that's the direction they're going. I think the big question for me is this is going to be the third Spider-Man movie. Now, of course, by trends value go, most of the big characters within MCU only get 3 movies. And then, of course, you usually will pop up during, big events like Avengers and stuff like that. But do we think the MCU is going to continue Spider-Man or we think that after this one, we're just going to see. I think we're going to see more Spider-Man, but I think we're going to see it more on Sony side, and I think that's where it's going to get quite interesting and kind of cool at the same time. So definitely could be something there, but I know some people, in the last chat were asking me, could Sony rival? I don't know. I mean, personally, I actually thought that when they were having the Spider-Man battle, I almost thought Disney was just going to buy Sony out, because Disney's got a much bigger wallet than Sony does. They could have just bought the whole company out and then gotten the character. But I think also, since before that they had the huge acquisition of Fox to get characters like Fantastic Four and the X-Men back, I think is definitely something really, really fantastic. Now, again, what I'd like to almost see is, they're going to start introducing more of these characters, start doing it more like, kind of what MCU's doing, start taking advantage of some of these TV shows. I mean, I don't know if Sony's got a actual show going on or anything like that, but, I think that would be fantastic. I mean, maybe do like some side shows, with Sinister Six or something like that. I think that would be really, really cool. And I think the whole shows like, Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision that's being introduced is just something that is, I mean, it's creative. It's a new way to continue the storyline. It's a new way to fill in spots within the storyline. Because sometimes when you just talk about movies, it makes from one jump to the next jump, and sometimes you're going, man, what happened in between? And sometimes maybe we get a movie later on, like the Black Widow, which is supposed to be, now that's going to be based after Civil War. So, now we're going to find out what happened after Civil War with her, where she disappeared to. And of course, it seems like she went back to her parents in Russia to fight that. I mean, I can't wait to see the Taskmaster. I mean, Taskmaster, I think, was one of the best villains ever. And I can't wait to get into that whole cup of worms or whatever it is. I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and, go from there. So we'll definitely see. So I don't know. I think a lot of things can go a lot of different ways. And I think, the Spider-Verse has the potential. Now, can Sony really capitalize on the potential that they have? That's really the question. If Sony can capitalize on the potential that they have overall within the Spider-Verse itself, knowing that the amount of villains that they have at their disposal, I mean, who knows? Anything's possible here at this point. But definitely Sony has the potential to rival the MCU, or at least, to be honest with you, complement each other. I think that's really where a lot of it can come from. I think they can really complement each other in that, and of course, push each other in there. But, whereas I think would be really cool is that within both of those, you get certain characters that do jump between both universes. And this partnership between Disney and Sony needs to increase beyond just Spider-Man. I think, Blade and Morbius would be a fantastic fight. I mean, there's so many different possibilities there, to be honest with you. But I think Sony has something, and it's so early on, and with teasing how they're doing things with Venom and Venom 2, I think they're doing it right. I really, really do. And I've really got a lot of hope for this. As being a big Spider-Man fan, I'm really, really hoping for them to do this right and for them to really, really give us something fantastic. And in the end, I don't necessarily, like I said, as far as my title goes, I don't necessarily think they're going to rival MCU, but I think they're going to complement them better. I mean, I want to know in the chat here, what do you guys think? Do you think that Sony can really? You think they would be more or less want to be someone that would want to rival Marvel, or you think they would be someone more that would just complement. I think that the complement between each other could be a huge benefit. But I'd like to see more crossover between the two in the future. But I think like I said, the other big question is, we're getting a Spider-Man 3 in the MCU. They usually don't give character. Oh no, I take that back. Typically, they've only ever done 3 movies per character. However, Thor is getting a 4th movie. So, I mean, I guess they're kind of changing the rules even with that as well. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest with you. But I think that's going to be something that's really going to be out there and to do. But, I mean, we're just going to have to sit back and wait, because I think we got with Spider-Man supposed to come out beginning of next year, first half of next year, something like that. No Way Home. So we're really going to have to see where that goes. And I know it's next year. I know it's supposed to be next year. No. I take that back. I think that's December. I think it's November, December is when No Way Home's going to come out. And they are saying, if you guys had noticed in this little teaser trailer they gave, is they said in theaters only. So people like me who really enjoy the streaming service of like HBO Max to get the movies when they come out, to be streamed as well as in the theaters, we're not going to be able to get that. But, I mean, come on, it's Spider-Man. I think I'm okay. I will risk to go to the movies and watch Spider-Man in the movies. That's the type of movie that you're going to have where it's really going to give you that movie theater experience. You're going to have people cheering for the highs. You're going to have, the lows within the movie. And there's something about going there and getting that great experience by being in the movie. And that's the type of movie I think you're going to get that great experience. Another one I think is going to be that I'll make sure I try to go to a theater for is going to be Eternals. Eternals, I really think out there is going to be something that, and a lot of you guys may not understand the story of the Eternals, but it's going to be cinematically, I think, something pretty cool. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I think I'm going to make sure to definitely go to the theaters to go watch it, because I think seeing that on the big screen is just going to be fantastic and definitely be something to check out. But we'll see. Like I said, time will tell what's going to happen. I think I've said it a couple times, but I know we'll go down the line. I know we got, of course, what's the next couple lineups we got? Let me actually just bring up a channel. We're going to go see what the upcoming lineups, because I guess I don't even know if Sony's re-released when Carnage is coming out, to be 1,000% honest with you. Let me bring up a new window here. Because I know, of course, because of COVID and everything like that, I mean, everything got completely delayed. But, I think that, let me see, Carnage, Venom 2 release date. Okay, so we do have a release date for Venom 2. It's going to be September 17th, 2020. I don't think they really even have trailers for this yet. Because other than the really big teaser trailer, which pretty much just showed that, Carnage was coming. And of course, we've seen some pictures of Woody Harrelson playing Cletus Cassidy. I think there's going to be something really, really cool in there. And I mean, something fantastic. I can't wait to see Carnage on the big screen. I think it's going to be pretty, pretty cool. But as far as Marvel goes, Marvel MCU movie release dates. I think I'm getting some of my order mixed up here. Go to Cineblend here. Let me bring this up on the big screen. Oh, wrong one. Wrong screen. Sorry, I got too many screens up here. Click the wrong one. Guys, got to see the backstage. Why isn't that popping up? Share screen. There we go. So as far as we got Phase 4 release dates, of course, I haven't released a ton for Phase 5 yet. But, of course, we got Black Widow. This is going to be coming out in May. And after, we've got, of course, today was the first release of Falcon Winter Soldier. Going to be fantastic. Kate Titus, what's on, buddy? appreciate you coming by, joining me. Definitely congratulations on your giveaway win earlier. I will definitely try to get that out to you soon. I think we're going to start bundling up all the shipping items we got at the house and try to get those out really soon. But I know we got 6 episodes of Falcon Winter Soldier. Of course, that's going to go into May or into April. And then, of course, beginning of May, we have Black Widow. Now, I think after Black Widow sometime is going to be the Loki. I think that's actually supposed to be starting in June. I think Loki is supposed to be starting in June, which should be pretty cool. I mean, that one looks fantastic. I think it's going to be longer than 6. So we got Black Widow coming out May 7th, 2021. As far as movie-wise, we got Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings coming out on July 9th, 2021. Now, this is one I'm hoping, and this may not be something that happens, but Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, I think, has the best potential to get a Deadpool cameo, because we all know that Ryan Reynolds got signed to one of the biggest MCU contracts. So we're going to see Deadpool. I think we're going to see Deadpool in a cameo or part of a movie some point before we see Deadpool 3. I mean, that's just my thing. And Jesse Lou, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Sorry, again, I don't have beer. Only thing I had was these White Claws. Never had one, so I'll go ahead and give you a chug of this thing. I have no idea what these things taste like. I know it's supposed to be like a chick drink, but guess what? That's all we had. So here you go. Cheers to you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Well, that's a little weird. But continuing on, we got, of course, the Eternals. This is the one I am most looking forward to. I think it's going to be fantastic. We got the Eternals coming out on November 5th. So, again, Shang-Chi was, July? This is going to be November 5th. I think every 3 months at this point, starting with Black Widow, we're going to see a new movie, which I'm so excited for. I think it's going to be fantastic. Of course, then right after the Eternals in December, I mean, almost a month later, we have, of course, Spider-Man No Way Home. Fantastic. And then March, December 25th of March, so almost a year from now, I think is where we're going to get the real big culmination of MCU. We're going to get Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, which I am calling it right now. And you can quote me on this, and we can refer back to this later on, but we are going to get, I think the villain of this movie is going to be the Scarlet Witch, where she is in the hunt for her kids. I think there's still a lot more to happen before then, but that's, I'm going to say right now, I think Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, is going to be one of the villains of this movie. So I'm calling it right now. Of course, we have Thor, Love and Thunder, where we bring back Natalie Portman to reprise her role within that. And definitely this would be something that's really, really cool. Something different. I would like to see maybe where the Loki TV show goes. Maybe it ties back into Thor. I mean, because, of course, Loki, Thor, they're brothers, sort of. And they're definitely, that's got to be connected. So I'm going to assume at some point within Thor, Love and Thunder, we're going to get Loki somewhere in there. What did K. Titus say here? Winko, Mr. Techbot will send you pictures of Pokemon cards on Instagram and let me know what you... Oh, fantastic, buddy. I know they were so hard to get out here since COVID, man. The Pokemon stuff has just gone ridiculous. Of course, we got July 8th, 2022. We have Black Panther 2. Of course, this is going to be a really interesting one, but I think this is going to be a really hot, well-anticipated one because, of course, we don't have the Black Panther. Of course, Chadwick Boseman passed away last year, and so, of course, we don't have them. But the rumor is that they are going to be having Shuri, his sister, is supposed to be taking over the Black Panther outfit, which I think is a fantastic choice. And also I think somewhere within there, because technically he is family, you are going to have Killmonger come back, which I think should be pretty cool. We have Captain Marvel 2. Now this is going to be a cool one too, because this is also going to introduce another new character to the MCU, which we're going to have Kamala, who is Miss Marvel, is going to be in this movie. I think that's already been confirmed. We already know that she's going to be in this movie, and so she's going to get her cameo before she gets her actual, movie herself. So then after that, of course, we don't know dates. That's as far as we know dates is November of next year with those. Of course, so we got the unscheduled projects. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I don't even think that started filming yet because I believe, of course, James Gunn had been fired from Marvel and then decided to go take up the Suicide Squad 2 movie. So when they decided to hire him back, he's like, nope, you got to wait. I'm already filming this. I'm already directing this one. So that's why Guardians has gotten pushed back so much. The big thing in this one I'm really, really hoping to see is, in the end of Guardians 2, we got that big teaser of Adam Warlock. I'm really, really hoping we get something more from Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Because I would have liked to see them expand the Adam Warlock thing more because, of course, we know in the comic books, Adam Warlock is actually the one that ended up taking the gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet was never destroyed. Adam Warlock ended up taking that. And, of course, the ending was a lot different in comic books than what was in the MCU, but I think they did fantastic with Endgame. So, incredibly happy with that. Of course, then we got announced of Ant-Man and Wasp, the third movie. Quantumania, this is going to get taken to the multiverse in a whole nother realm when they get into this one. One that I'm hugely, hugely excited for is Fantastic Four. I think you're going to see teasers of these characters well before this movie comes out. I mean, I was hoping to see Reed Richards in WandaVision, and I still think Reed Richards was the engineer that Monica Rambeau was talking about. And I think you're going to see cameos of all of them somewhere. I think at least you're going to see a Reed Richards cameo in Multiverse because, of course, Reed Richards, we all know Tony is and Bruce Banner is very intelligent people. Reed Richards is the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that. Of course, we are going to have a new iteration of X-Men. Now, X-Men's kind of cool because I think Marvel did something really, really cool that I don't think people realize. If you watch WandaVision, of course, we had gotten the Sony version of Quicksilver in WandaVision with Peter Evans playing that character. Of course, Peter Evans played Quicksilver in the Sony version of X-Men, whereas there was a different actor that played Quicksilver in the MCU. So I think when they had taken the spell off of the Quicksilver in WandaVision, I think that was maybe I could be reading into this too much, but I think that was kind of like an homage to basically say, forget about what you know about the X-Men series from Sony. We are starting new. We're going to give you something new. The big question around this movie is who's going to play that man. Everybody wants to know who's going to play Wolverine because, of course, we all know Hugh Jackman has decided he's not going to wear the claws again, and which is a shame because he's a fantastic Wolverine. But we don't know about this. And then this one's a highly anticipated one. We got Blade, who this is going to be really, really cool. I'm glad to see them bring Blade in this, and this is where I would like to see another crossover with Sony, and I'd love to see a Blade Morbius battle. I think that would be awesome, and that would be epic. I think there's really a good possibility there, but we got to see which direction they go with Blade. So I think that's going to be definitely something cool, and that there's a lot to really look forward to. That's all they've told us up to so far. Of course, we know there's probably way more coming up in the future. I think they're still adding that into all Phase 4. So we haven't even gotten into Phase 5 yet. And personally, I think if you guys are in comic book people, I think they're gonna build up through the next 3 phases to do Secret Wars, which I think would be completely awesome. I think it'd be cool. Let me know what you guys think. Where you would like to see the next big phase, the next big battle, because it's always got to end in a giant battle where they bring all these different characters back in play, and definitely get into something. I think that would be a lot of fun and be a lot different. But I would like to see Secret Wars because I know we already have gotten the Russo brothers have already said that, the only movie they're interested in directing in MCU again would be Secret Wars. So I think that would be something really, really cool, something fantastic, and definitely something we can hope to get. I mean, I'm saying I'm really hoping we get something like that in the future. I think that'd be fantastic, and I think it'd be something really interesting to get. So I'm excited for that. Where we go? Yeah, Martin. I always got a bad time pronouncing his name, but I think he's gonna be a fantastic Blade. I'm not gonna say it. Is going to be a great Blade. He is going to be a fantastic Blade. And if you guys were fans of the original Blade, which is of course Wesley Snipes that played Blade early on, which is really, if you think about it, he was really the first Marvel superhero to really hit the silver screen. And that would have been, I think that was back in the 90s is when that came out. Most people don't even realize that Blade was Marvel. But I think that's going to be fantastic. And Wesley Snipes has already given, his thumbs up to the new one. And I think he's going to play it very, very well. Jesse Lou said, yes, Secret Wars would be amazing. I think they brought Secret Wars to the big screen. Oh man, they're gonna have something, but they're gonna build up Secret Wars. They really, really got to think all the details through, and I think this is probably the best time for them to do it. The fact that Marvel is not only using the Sony's building up the Spider-Verse, Marvel is building up their stuff. Plus, they're using the TV shows to help tell the stories even more. They've got all the pieces in play to be able to make something really, really big, make something, great out of this. But I think Secret Wars has been fantastic. I'd love to see it. I think there's a lot of people out there that would love to see it and love to see what it's all about, but I definitely think we got something great and going on. But I mean, that's I think where things are going to go. And I know I've talked a lot about it, and I'm not trying to get too much into DC. I think the only thing I'm going to say about DC is Snyder Cut. I'm really excited. That's probably the first time I can actually say I'm really excited to see a DC movie in a long time. I think that the Snyder Cut, I mean, it's a long movie. I think I looked at it before, and I think it said it was supposed to be like almost like a 4-hour movie, something like that, something ridiculous like that. I mean, I just thought that was crazy. But, it's a long movie, so I got to have some time to sit there and check it out and really pay attention, because, I think there's going to be a lot of small things that he changed that is going to be pretty cool. That's a good point, too. I mean, it is building that up. Could be Avengers versus X-Men next, which is a good possibility. I do know Falcon Winter Soldier, and we may have gotten a little hint of him in this first episode. I'm not quite sure. He had a mask on, so I wasn't sure. But there is rumors that we're supposed to be getting one of the first mutants. Although you could say Monica Rambeau was kind of the first mutant in the MCU. But the first mutant that we're supposed to be announced is supposed to be Omega Red, which had been rumored to be in Falcon Winter Soldier somewhere, which I think would be awesome if we got Omega Red. I think that would be cool. There'd be something definitely in there to check out. But you just have to watch. I mean, we got 5 more episodes to go after this. And, if you come check us out on Sunday, myself, Winco, JB from Discovery Bag Comics, and, of course, the man with all Easter eggs, JKL Awesome. I think you're really going to see something cool with that. Where we're going to talk about and break down this first episode. Now, this first episode, I'll give it, had a lot of action, but also seemed kind of slow storyline-wise. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to give anything away. But like I said, it's hard to explain. It had action, but it's trying to tell a good story at the same time. But it was a little slow. Of course, then at the end, you got some big news. So, I mean, I'd be interested to see where episode 2 then takes it, and starts to maybe tell the story of what's going on. I mean, definitely would be something interesting. But yeah, definitely I know there's a lot of people that got rid of their Disney Plus because over the whole Star Wars thing. Again, I went and ranted about the Star Wars thing last week about the cancel culture. I'm really getting sick of this stuff. I think they really just need to fire Catherine Kennedy over there at Lucasfilms, hire Dave Filoni to take over as president, and just let Jon Favreau have his way with the Star Wars universe. To me, that's Disney's best idea right there to do. Do I think it'll ever happen? No. Fortunately, I don't know what grasp Catherine Kennedy has on anyone, how she still has a job, but she is the biggest. And I know that there was a lot of fans after the Cara Dune firing, of a whole, and I got Disney attention because apparently there's a lot of people that went out and deleted their or canceled their Disney Plus memberships because of the whole firing. So, hopefully they're going to get some of them back to come watch Falcon Winter Soldier. I think it's going to tell a great story. And then, of course, you're all going to come back to come watch Loki. Loki's a diehard. I don't think it's been announced how many episodes Loki's going to be yet. So we don't know. We'll have to definitely wait and see what happens. But, in the realm of possibilities, anything's possible. But, we'll see. Lots of possibilities, lots of things up there. I know I've only got a couple people in the chat, but where do you think? I know Jesse Lee's thinking it's going to be Avengers versus X-Men. This is almost right now. We're so far away. We're about another 9, actually, because of COVID, probably another 10 years away of even seeing an end of a Phase 6. So, where would you like to see the end of Phase 6 go? Like I said, I think Secret Wars. I think that's going to be the way to go, and the enjoyable part about it. But yeah, I know. I already said they brought back James Gunn, and I agree. They could bring back Carano, which I think is. But the only way you're going to bring back Carano is if you get rid of Catherine Kennedy. Can't bring back Carano with leaving Catherine Kennedy, and there are what a lot of people in the internet is calling her Darth Kennedy, because she is just completely. She's a horrible president for that company. For what she did to Lucas himself, to even more push him out of creative control, it was horrible. If you guys want to blame anybody for, those last 3 bunch of movies, and I'm even including the Han Solo movie in that, for being, I didn't really care for it. It had its moments, but it really wasn't that great. But I would say you got to blame Catherine Kennedy for that. And, unfortunately, but yes, it is it possible to bring back Corona? Sure. But not as long as Catherine Kennedy is there as president. I think if you made, if you got rid of Kennedy and made Filoni president, I think I would say there's a definitely good possibility you bring back Gina Carano. But without that happening, I don't ever see her coming back. As it is, there's another battle with, I said it last week. I don't think it was even that bad with Rosario Dawson with what she said. It wasn't that bad at all. People need to learn to, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. Don't watch it. Again, I don't want to rant on this whole cancel culture thing. I respect everybody's opinion about stuff, but man, have we really become a society of just, complainers? Are we coming up on the year of the Karen? Are we coming up on the point where, people can't have thick skin? People can't have a joke? Come on, if great comedians like Sam Kinison, I'm sorry, he would not last in this world right now. He would have been canceled a long time ago. Because of his jokes. Richard Pryor. If we ever watch Richard Pryor stand up, he would have been canceled a long time ago for the things he said. But it's just, I think as a society, we need to grow and have a little bit thicker skin to realize that not everything is maybe meant in a particular way, or maybe everything is said in a particular way. Even with with what Gina Carano even said, I don't even disagree with it. I mean, to me, it was more facts than anything. And, it's not wrong, but there's no reason to cancel her just because you don't like it. I don't get it. I agree with you. K-Titus, just be happy. Again, go by the theory of I always say, guess what? If I don't like seeing that on TV or I don't agree with that, maybe I won't watch it. But to go and protest to get somebody fired, to get somebody taken off, I mean, it's just wrong. I mean, it's just completely wrong. Cancel culture way of going to things is completely wrong. I think there are certain things within our history that we might need to change, but I think the biggest thing that this country has is we have a hard time learning from the past. And, there's a lot of things we can improve upon, a lot of things we can do better when certain situations come up. If we can just learn from our past, let's stop recreating the past and our screw ups from the past, and let's start learning from them. I think if we can do that and we can become a little bit more thick skinned, man, be a little bit more thick skinned and smile more, be positive. I know there's a lot of craziness going on this past year, especially with COVID. And, let's think of glass half full. Let's think of, let's get through this year. Things are moving up. Things are getting better. Vaccines are getting out there. This whole thing is starting to wind down a little bit. Is it going to take time? Yes, but things are going to get better. Think of, try to stay glass half full. It's my best way of trying to do it. I try, and I'm not the greatest person at doing this all the time, but if you can try to be as positive as you can, I think you can go through life with anything. If you stay positive and you keep that glass half full mentality, you're not going to let small things, get under your skin, by what some celebrity said in a tweet or whatnot. I mean, come on, let it go. We're all people. We all have our own rights to think what we want. Just because you think differently than I do doesn't make either one of us a bad person. Makes us human. Makes us to a point that, I can respect that just because we think a little bit differently doesn't mean we can't get along. Doesn't mean we can't go out and have a beer. Doesn't mean we can't sit down and have a good conversation about anything other than what we have that we're have disagreement on. There's so many things out there that, again, people stay way too narrow-minded, very narrow-minded. And of course, the man that shows up, man, where you been all night? Come on, brother, where you been? Anyway, sorry, you just came in. I just had a whole thing on Marvel, stuff like that. And I know maybe some of you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it, but I love talking about Marvel. Of course, we've got the great Christina Payne had joined us. But of course, I know some of you guys joining in where we didn't really want to get into this conversation again about cancel culture. I'm not afraid of doing it by any means, because again, this is my opinion. Whether somebody likes my opinion, if you don't like my opinion or you feel offended by opinion, guess what? You know what the real easy thing to do? See a little arrow up in the top right or top left corner? Just hit the back button. You don't have to watch me. If you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to watch me. It's as easy as that. But again, if we can stay positive, we can go, again, if you can live your life to be a little bit more positive and be a little bit more open-minded and respectful of one another, I think that's the biggest problem I think a lot of people have is, and it's one of the biggest things I'm trying to teach my kids is be respectful of other people. Everybody's different. Everybody thinks different. Everyone's been raised different. But doesn't mean we can't get along. Doesn't mean we can't have a good conversation. Doesn't mean, you're not a good person. Just because we believe something slightly different, we can still get along. But if you can be positive and try to have respect for one another as human beings, I think life would be a whole lot easier, because once you have respect for another person, whether you believe the same thing or not, you're still going to have that respect for that person. There's a lot of people I know that don't think the same religious wise or political wise or anything like that. There's a lot of people that believe differently than me that I know. Doesn't mean I don't like them. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy hanging out with them. Doesn't mean, I want to sit in the back and have a beer with them, because I have a mutual respect for them as human beings. And I think if everyone can figure that out, I think this whole cancel culture thing is going to go away. I think a whole lot of stuff's going to go away. And, I think things would be improved. But, unfortunately, there's just... Fortunately, I don't think any of that's going to happen. I mean, people like myself can rant. People like Slush is going to rant about something like this, in a much different way than I'm doing it, with a lot more curse words. I've seen some of his rants, but like I said, that's just how easy it is. People don't realize they want to complain about something. They want to complain about, and mind you, I even follow by 2 rules. I follow by 2 rules in my life when it comes to interacting with other people, whether it's social media or whether it's in front of your faces. I don't talk religion and I don't talk politics. Doesn't mean that even if you tell me what your politic point of view is, I'm not going to look at you as a different person. You're still a person, bottom line. Whether you're different, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, Green Party, Independent, Liberal, I don't care. Whether you're, it doesn't matter race either. I mean, we're all people. Race out there, I mean, I had to ask somebody, mind you, let me back up a little bit. I stopped watching the news a long time ago. I did get sucked into it for a while there, especially around elections, stuff like that. And I slowly stopped myself and realized, why am I doing this? I'm getting myself worked up. I'm getting myself annoyed by the stupidity of what goes on in our government, nonetheless. But so I stopped watching it altogether. And, I said, so I saw something just last night, and I was working with a gentleman that I work with sometimes, and I asked him, I was like, does anybody know what's going on with this? Because I started saying on Facebook all the time about this, no Asian hate, no stuff like that. I'm like, what is going on with this? And I guess, this goes back to where I want to say, let's learn from our past. People are saying that, from what I was explained, whether this is true or not, but people are explaining that, people harassing Asian Americans because the coronavirus came from Asia. Well, actually China for that fact. Wuhan, China for that. We're not going to get really detailed, but I don't even blame them. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, first of all, the first point I want to point out that is, one, what's the point of finger pointing? Does me pointing the finger at somebody, whether they're, directly and purposely for that, me pointing the finger at somebody, is this, accomplishing anything in life? No, I hate the point of finger pointing, to just sit there and try to blame somebody else for something going on. Guess what? It is what it is. Live with it. Suck it up, and move along. Things are going to get better. Things will get there. Trust me. I know things are tough right now, but stop pointing the finger. What is that accomplishing? And if we're pointing the finger to a particular race because they're that race from that country, half those people are Asian Americans. They've never been in that country. Maybe, maybe their descendants have. Come on. We live in America. All of our descendants came from different countries. Except for maybe the Native Americans, they came from here. But everybody else, I'm sorry. Everybody came from a different country before they came to America and built this country. So, to a certain point, we're all, in there as differently. So, but this is where I come with, let's learn from the past. Because this is a similar situation of, you look at 1941, we had the bombing of Pearl Harbor, one of the worst attacks we've had on American soil, of course, before 9/11. And, what did we turn around and do? We turned around and took all these Japanese Americans and we put them in camps because we didn't trust them. Most of these people was never in Japan or was never doing any of that. And, we realized after the war that was wrong. We never should have done that. It never should have happened. And yet again, what are we doing? We're recreating bad history. Let's learn from the mistakes that have been made in the past and correct the future. How hard is that? I don't get it. I don't understand it. And maybe I never will, because the people that are pushing this, whether it's hate or whether it's cancel culture or whether what it is, something in your life tells you need to sit there and complain about something. Maybe again, I got respect for you. I got respect for everybody, whether you do that or not. I just think it's wrong. And that's my own personal opinion. I know that, again, I wasn't going to go on about this, but sorry, you got me going. You guys got me going real quick. Let me see what Slush Noah's got to be going on, because he's a potty mouth himself. Doesn't mean we can't roast each other. Yeah, again, have a beer. It doesn't mean we can't roast each other and have a beer. Me and my closest friends constantly roast each other. I've had times where my wife, you walk up to your buddy and you cuss at him right away, and that's like your hello. I've had people literally sit there and go, "What is that?" Yes, that's normal. That's what we do. Come on, stop being so thick-skinned. I'm killing cancel culture one video at a time. That's true. If you guys really want to see a grown man rant, definitely go check out Slush. He gets me rolling sometimes. I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate that. And of course, that Canadian, American, whatever, everybody has their right to believe what they want to believe. I know, politics may be different in Canada, politics may be different in UK, anywhere else in the world than maybe America. But really, if we really break this down, is politics really different anywhere we go? I really don't think so. It's still the same corrupt idiots running the country and not caring about the rest of us. It's still, it's just how it is. And I don't think, no matter where you're from, I think it's always the same thing. And just like my great friend Christina Payne always says, why can't we just spread the love? I mean, come on, spread the love, extend your hand out to one another, and just kind of go with it. And I do agree, stop the Asian hate. I mean, I say stop all hate. Why do we have to have the hate in the world? I mean, again, let's not repeat history for a lot of things. But yeah, well, there's tonight's rant. It's something unplanned and unput up there, but that's again tonight's rant. At least you didn't have me ranting about the upcoming Batman. Come on, man. We'll leave that one alone. I know we haven't seen Peter Barbarian yet today, so I haven't been able to harass him. I know he always likes to harass me about that one. So we won't go into that rant. That's a rant for another day. But I love this conversation, and I don't know, maybe that's what I got to turn this live stream into, and maybe it's what you guys like a little bit more. I'm not trying to hide anything by any means, and I try to be open and expressive with every person I interact with in this world, and hate it or like it. I've been, for my work time, I'm a very technical person. I like to do things right. I'd like to do things right the first time when it comes to my work. I like to succeed. I mean, and who doesn't? If we can break down all these small little things, I think we would all find ourselves in this world, liking more things about each other than disliking. We just have to stop for a second and realize that there's more to life than hate. We stopped hating, life would be a lot better. It just would, and it doesn't really that what everybody wants in life, to be a little bit better. I mean, do people really, and that's one point I don't understand either. Do people out there really want to just live life miserable and mad at the world? I don't know. That's not something I can answer, and something I probably never will want to answer. Because like I said, I'm gonna always be the type that I'm gonna try to think about things glass half full. And I know I have my moments in this world where I get mad about something and I don't think about that. But I think about things like this, and I think about this cancel culture thing, and think about how much that it's like, well, am I really that mad about that? I mean, these people are complaining about something stupid. Why don't I just stay positive? And that's how I kind of keep going with my life. But tonight's rant has been brought to you by In Conjunction with Slushline. Yes. What's funny is I just got into this rant just as you showed up, which was hilarious. But it definitely could be interesting. Then I say with you, man, you're in Canada, man. You guys are crazy to be around that much snow. Maybe you got, YouTube is perfect for you because you can't go outside and do anything. I'm sorry, I'm from Florida. We just had 80 degrees out this week, so we don't participate in summer down here. But I think that's it. I'm done ranting. Talked a lot about Marvel today. Talked about Marvel Spider-Verse from Sony. And I'm happy. Like I said, glass half full. I know I was only saving this for when I got super chats, because me and Wayne are going to start doing the beer gulp. Sorry, I don't have any beer. This is all I had in the house. So this is what we're going to do. But I got one super chat tonight. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do another one right here for you. And this is for you guys all. I want you all to remember a few things before I let you all go. Do a challenge. I'm going to give you all a challenge tomorrow. Go out to challenge, whether you're at the store, whether you're at a neighbor's house. Go out, extend your hand, shake someone's hand, go out and have a beer with somebody that you wouldn't normally do, and spread some positivity out there. That's always a good thing. 2, cheers to all you guys out there. Have a wonderful night. And as I always like to say,
I made it just in time.
Okay.
Hallelujah. Before the video ended, thank God I went quick up the stairs.
The kids just showed up. But as I always like to say, leave this with you guys always. To do what you like, do what you love. I don't even think you guys can hear. But if I always say, we got the little one. We're gonna show the little one in there too. There you go. But as okay. I don't know what that is by any means, but guys, do what you like, do what you love, and always unleash your inner nerd. Y'all have a wonderful night and talk to you guys next week.
Stay safe.